Hello everyone, this is lecture 14 on fixed point theory. Today I am going to explain Stone-Weierstrass theorem. Now before to start the proof of Stone-Weierstrass theorem, I would like to explain some definitions. Now first is the Banach algebra. We are given a Banach space equipped with some norm. This Banach space is said to be Banach algebra if it satisfies the following properties with respect to the addition, scalar multiplication and the product operator. The product operator is defined like this. If we consider any two elements from this space, we apply the product. This is also a member of this space, right? So we are having three things. One is addition, one is scalar multiplication, and one is the product. So with respect to these operations, if the space X equipped with this norm satisfying these following properties, then this space is said to be Banach algebra. Now what are these properties? With respect to the product, it satisfies the associative property, means x times yz is same as that xy times z. Secondly, distributive properties with respect to the addition and product, it is x times y plus z is xy plus xz, or y plus z times x is yx plus zx. And the fourth property is you can take scalar to be outside, that alpha times x into y is same as that you first multiply the scalar with the x and then with y, or you first multiply the scalar with y and then with x. So all these are same. And the last is the norm of x into y is less than equal to the norm of x into norm of y. So any space equipped with this norm satisfying the following properties with respect to addition, scalar multiplication and the product is said to be Banach algebra. Now for example, if we consider the space of all real valued functions which are continuous also and defined on the closed interval 0, 1, and the product is defined like this, that it is nothing but the product of the function itself, and the norm is defined like this, that you find out the mod of the function, right, over the whole domain and find out the supremum of that. So that will be the norm of the f, right? So then this function satisfy all the properties of Banach algebra, and moreover the norm of f into g, which is same as that the supremum of ft into gt, where t varying from the closed interval 0, 1, and then you find out the supremum. So mod, we know that mod of f into g will be less than equal to mod of f into mod of g, and this is true for supremum also. So we get norm of fg is less than equal to norm of f into norm of g. So it satisfies all the properties of Banach algebra. So this space equipped with this norm is a Banach algebra. So now the next is the Stone-Weierstrass theorem, and this is most useful theorem in all of analysis. This theorem says, let we have a compact Hausdorff topological space, and CS is a Banach algebra which contains all the bounded, continuous, real valued functions defined on this compact space with the norm as this. And suppose X is a subalgebra of CS which contains the constant functions and it separates the points of S, then this subalgebra is dense in CS. So this theorem says this subalgebra is dense in CS. Now what do you mean by subalgebra? Subalgebra means X should be a subspace of CS with the property that if we consider any two function from the set X, from the space X, and we consider any real number alpha, then the product is also a member of X and scalar is also a member of, scalar times F is also a member of X. Means X is closed under the product operator as well as scalar multiplication. Then this X is a subspace of CS and this is said to be the subalgebra of CS, because here CS is an algebra. then this subspace will become the subalgebra of CS. Now what do you mean by constant function? Constant function means the function attains constant value for all values of the domain. So that function is said to be constant function. Now the condition that X separates the points of S. It means if we consider any two points from the set S which are not equal, then their images are also not equal in X. Right? So if F is a member of this X, F is any function from this X, then Fu is not equal to Fv, where U is not equal to V and they are the members of S. So it means X separates the points of the set S. So if X is subalgebra satisfying the following properties, then this X is dense in CS, means X bar is same as that CS. Now just see the proof. Let X be a subalgebra of CS which contains the constant functions and which separates the points of S. So X हमारे पास क्या है? X is a subalgebra of bounded real valued function, continuous functions which contains the constant functions and which separates the points of S. So what we want to prove? We want to prove that for any epsilon greater than 0, we have function in CS, and corresponding to this function in CS, there exists a function in X such that the norm of F minus G at infinity, means the supremum of all these, the extreme values, it should be strictly less than epsilon. Then we will say the X is dense in CS. Now since it is given that X separates the point of S, so we consider any two points from the set S where S and T they are not equal, then there must exist a function in X such that HS is not equal to HT. Now we take any two real numbers lambda and mu and we define a new function H tilde going from S to R by H tilde V is defined like this. So it is a combination of these scalar multiplications and the values of the function H, where H is a member of X. Since X is subalgebra, so it is closed under product as well as scalar multiplication. So H tilde also belongs to X. Moreover, what are the values of H tilde at S as well as at T? Now just see, if you put V to be T, what will be the value of H tilde T? Now you put here the value of V to be T. So HT will be cancel out. HT minus HT, it is 0. So you get the value of H tilde T is nothing but mu. Similarly, the value of H tilde at S, it will be what? When you substitute V to be S, you get this is cancel out with this and this mu will be cancelled out with this, you get this is lambda. So H tilde S is nothing but lambda and H tilde T is nothing but mu. So we define a function H tilde going from S to R by like this, and this is also a member of X because X is subalgebra and the values of the function at S and T is lambda and mu respectively. Right? So for S not equal to T, there is a function in X such that the value of this function at S is Fs and at T is T. So it means this function approximates F in the neighborhood around S and the point T. Now we fix S and vary t, and we put the set of points like this as ut. So here we vary t and fix s. So this ut denotes the set of all those members of S such that fst, the around v, is strictly less than fv plus epsilon. So clearly ut is an open set. Now why this is an open? Because it is a pre-image of an open set, right? So since this is open, means this, if you take f to be v to be this side, so this minus fv is strictly less than epsilon. This is an open set, right? So since the functions are continuous functions, because it belongs to an algebra which are bounded, continuous and real value functions, so these are continuous, these images are open sets, so therefore their pre-images are also open, so ut will become an open set. Now here we fix s and vary t, and also t is a member of ut. Now why t is a member of ut? Rather taking v, if you take t, right, so what we get, f of st at t. Now this is what, this is nothing but ft. So ft is strictly less than ft plus epsilon, which is true. So it means t belongs to ut, right? And if we vary this t from over all the set elements of set S, then this will become an open cover for the set S. So the union of ut, where t is belonging to set S, this is an open cover of S. But what is given to us, that this set is compact, so therefore it is reducible to finite subcover. So means there exists some finitely many t1, t2, tn such that S is a subset of union of uti, where I varying from 1 to n. So this is by the compactness of S. Now we put Hs to be the minimum of all these f of sti, where I varying from 1 to n. Then this Hs belongs to X, because these are the members of X, and also Hs at S is nothing but Fs, because in that case these all values will become Fs, and we get H of S is less than F plus epsilon. This is by the definition of STI, right? So what we get HS, which is a minimum of all these f of STI. They are belonging to X. The value of this function at S is same as that Fs, and this is less than F plus epsilon. Now we define Vs as a set of all those members of S which satisfying this condition, right? Here we have taken less than this plus epsilon. Now we consider all those elements which are greater than this. So again these sets are open, right? So its pre-image is also open. Now in this case we fix we fix t and vary s basically. So we get all these. So this is an open set. By the same reason, again this S will become the subset of the open sets, union of open sets. So this will become the open cover for S. But again, since S is compact, so there exist finitely many elements such that S is a union of these all Vs J, where J varying from 1 to M. Now in the previous case we have find the minimum of all these functions. Now we find out the max of all these functions. So again all these are the members of X, so max is also a member of X. So we get G belongs to X. So if you combine both these, what we get, our G is greater than F minus epsilon and less than F plus epsilon. So means the norm of f minus g is strictly less than epsilon. So this implies that X is dense in CS, because here F is a member of CS and G is a member of X, and we get the norm of this is strictly less than epsilon. So this implies that X is dense in CS, means X bar is equal to CS, and this thing we want to prove. Now just see the corollary. Let X be a compact subset of Rn for any natural number n, then the algebra of all the polynomials in the coordinates x1, x2 till up to xn is dense in Cx. This is just the corollary of the previous one. And the remark, if we take n to be 1, in particular if we take n to be 1, then this corollary is the Weierstrass approximation theorem. Okay, so means whenever x is compact, then the polynomials, the algebra of all the polynomials, it will be dense in Cx.